Welcome. My name is Chris Reynolds, co-founder of PryBuy.com. Congratulations on choosing PryBuy. I liken this to us handing you the keys to your own franchise. We have built a building and we supply the product. It is up to you, however, to go out and get the customers. What's nice about this is that just about every business is a candidate for PryBuy. When I sold my first account, PryBuy did not exist. Imagine how hard that was. Now, my job is to make your job easier. Every trick and approach that I've developed the hard way, I will now give to you. It is up to you, however, to do it. Selling accounts is a pure numbers game. I can't sell 4 accounts in a day if I only present to 3 merchants. I can, however, sell 4 accounts if I present to 5 merchants. I can sell an account in the morning and quit for the day, or I can keep at it and sell 3 more. Organization will be key to succeeding. You will wear many hats, and it's imperative to work smarter. From prospecting to selling to closing, you must do all 3 of these things on a daily basis. From experience, if you slack at any one of these things, your momentum and results will suffer. You must constantly be moving forward. In other words, don't present to 5 businesses and wait for those 5 to sign before moving on to the next 5. Keep prospecting new businesses. Keep selling. Keep closing. It's motivation. It's ambition. It's hunger. It's what separates the achievers from the underachievers. To quote Vince Lombardi, the difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. You are listening to this because someone considers you the ideal candidate for an account representative position at PryBuy.com. Someone feels you meet the most stringent requirements that we as a company set forth for one to become involved with PryBuy. For that alone, congratulations. Let's start with securing appointments. If you get the appointment, odds are you will end up signing the account. But it's also the hardest part. Getting the business owner to give you their limited time is tough. But I've found a way that more often than not seems to get me the appointment. First, I just walk into a place of business with the sole purpose of introducing myself to the owner or decision maker. I walk in with, and this is important, big smiles all around. Hi there. I'm hoping you can help me out. I'm just stopping in to introduce myself to the owner. Would they happen to be in? If they aren't in, I will certainly find out when they are, as well as who I should ask for and make note of it. If I do get a chance to meet the owner, I introduce myself. Hi, my name is Chris Reynolds. Just stopping by to introduce myself real quick. What I have is a company that has expanded to your area, PryBuy.com. What we do is threefold. We showcase local businesses, connect them with the local and surrounding area consumer that is ready to spend, and drive them through your doors by way of offers that make sense to your business. It truly is a see it to believe it product, unlike anything you've ever seen before. What I'm hoping for is to please, at your convenience, have 10 minutes of your time where I can show you what it's all about. Some will say, do you have anything you can drop off? No. It's all about being able to show them the features of the site. I try not to give too much information about the site without showing them, because some will tend to think that, oh, they've tried that before, or they already have a website, etc. The reality is they haven't tried anything like PryBuy before. Business owners are callous to advertising. Understand that they have probably wasted a significant amount of money on advertising that hasn't worked for them. We are there to change their way of thinking, but they must first see what we have to offer. When I sell the appointment or the account, I'm really selling myself to the business owner. From personal experience, most business owners need to both trust and like the sales rep before purchasing something. You need to believe in PryBuy and yourself before you even think about trying to sell it. I personally take a casual approach to things. You won't see me in a 3-piece suit. They will see me coming a mile away. I believe most business owners appreciate a casual approach. In my opinion, when the merchant is more comfortable and able to relate to me, they are more apt to do business with me. New and existing market development. The hardest part of starting a new market is that no one wants to be the first. Therefore, PryBuy gives you the ability to make it happen. If you are opening a new market, you will be given a list of prospective area merchants that are free trial eligible or trade eligible or both. These are businesses that have done similar marketing, restaurant.com, Groupon, Living Social, etc., and would more than likely be receptive to our program. Let's use this as an example. You are starting the Madison, Wisconsin market. The cost of a yearly subscription to PryBuy is $4.99 for a year, or $49 a month with a 1-year commitment. Now, I'm talking to a very popular Madison restaurant who would be an asset to our website, not only by driving traffic to PryBuy, but also having them on board would make it easier for me to sell to other businesses. I would obviously start with the option of $4.99 up front or $49 a month. If they choose the $49 a month, I wouldn't get the big base commission up front, but I would make more over the course of the year. So I personally would kind of hope they choose that option. As well, the recurring monthly option will lead to a statistically higher rate of renewals. You need to read the business owner and proceed accordingly. Now, if that business owner says, come back later when you're more established, or I don't want to be one of the first ones, and they are on the trade eligible list, I would say, how about this? We could work out a trade where PryBuy would sell, for example, 50 10 gets you 20 deals, and we'll use the $500 to pay for the year subscription. That way, I can explain, the business owner would not be out a dime until we held up our end of the bargain and brought them consumers. As a rep, worst case scenario would be to offer them a free trial, where we would determine the number of weeks, to let PryBuy do the presentation. Those are pretty much reserved for the no's that you're confident would benefit from being on PryBuy, or when trying to populate a new market. I never authorize a free trial unless we have a very aggressive offer from the merchant to work with. Merchant presentation. When presenting to the merchant, I have a couple of pages all ready to go. First, I have PryBuy.com's page open. I also have that specific merchant's page set up, if at all possible. For example, if I go into a business today to introduce myself and line up an appointment for tomorrow, I will spend some time tonight getting their page put together. To set up a prospective merchant's page, go to PryBuy.com, click on Business Login at the bottom of the page. On the right-hand side of the page, you will choose a username and password for that business. Just don't forget what they are. In this case, Joe's Pizza, sales rep promo code that is specific to you. Email address you can leave blank, that's the merchant's email address. And then we're going to click on the merchant and create account. It'll then say that your account's been created. Go back and log in. So on the left hand side, I would type in Joe's Pizza and Joe's Pizza for the username and password, which we just set up. That's going to take me to a business back office, which is blank. In this case, however, I've started to fill in the information for Joe's Pizza. Most information needed to fill in the blanks is found somewhere online. Just perform a Google search for the business. Do they have a website? Do they have a Facebook page? From there, you'll be able to fill in the general information, grab some photos, copy and paste for the what's new, the daily specials, etc. I also like to set up a couple of aggressive sample offers that I personally believe will sell out. 1 coupon, 1 deal. Just sample offers. Again, it's important to be aggressive if they want to see redemptions. During the presentation, I take them through the consumer end first, and then transition right into their business back office to show them the features there before asking them for the sale. I present to the merchant with the assumption that they are going to buy. I ask them specifically if they would like the yearly option or the recurring monthly option without missing a step. At the very least, it will start a dialogue, and any objections they may have, I can then cover. The most important thing throughout the presentation is to listen to the merchant and identify their hot buttons. In other words, you will be able to read them and see what features are important to them through their actions and words. Make sure to hit on these hot buttons as the presentation continues. Again, listen to the merchant and apply our product to their needs. In terms of objections, every business has different needs and every business will have different objections. Fortunately, PryBuy can serve those needs, and every answer to every objection is available through the features of the site as well as our marketing approaches. The most common objection is, how are you getting people to know about PryBuy? That is covered in the merchant presentation video. Another objection may be, I don't like to discount things, or that's too much of a discount. Consider this. The merchant that has just spent $500 on that one-time newspaper ad. Are they happy if 50 people come in because of it? Most will say yes. Well, that's $10 per person they are essentially paying for that business. Now, if we can take that $10 and convert it into a discount, it's the same difference. Now, what if only 5 people came in off of that ad? Now you can see why some merchants are so callous to advertising. One very important thing that I let merchants know is, I can guarantee exposure for their business on PryBuy. Name recognition, net recognition, location, services, etc. Now in terms of redemptions, that falls a bit on the business themselves and the aggressiveness of their offers. Obviously, if you have $5 off $500 or more, people aren't going to be knocking down their doors. It's important to have aggressive offers for the merchants because they work. Ultimately, at year's end, most merchants will judge the success of their subscription on the number of redeemed offers. Competitors. Although there is nothing like PryBuy when it comes to advertising, there are similar sites and companies that have undertones of what we're doing, and it's important for you to know the competition. First off, Groupon, Living Social, Deal Chicken, etc. are daily deal sites that are concentrated in major markets. It is free to be featured as a daily deal on these sites, but the merchant is required to discount their goods and services at least 50%, and then those companies take 50% of the selling price. For example, a business sells a $40 certificate for $20. The merchant gets $10, and the company takes the other $10. As well, the merchants are only featured for a brief time on these sites, sometimes just 24 hours. Finally, in most cases, the merchants are not able to restrict how many of these deals are sold, which in a lot of cases can actually hurt the merchants. Next, restaurant.com solely features restaurants on a more national level. Again, it is free to be on restaurant.com. An example of how restaurant.com works is as follows. Restaurant.com sells a $25 certificate for a merchant for only $10. The stipulation on the certificate is that it can only be used on a guest check of $35 or more. Now, the $10 that the consumer paid for this certificate, restaurant.com takes it all. The only money the merchant makes is the money the person has to pull out of their pocket to get to that minimum. So, I buy a $25 certificate for $10. My $10 goes to restaurant.com. I pull out another $10 at the restaurant to get to the $35 minimum, and the restaurant gets that portion. So, if my bill was $35 even, the restaurant would give me $35 worth of product and only get $10 for it. Consider this. Let's say we use the same deal on PryBuy. $10 gets you a $25 certificate, valid on a guest check of $35 or more. Well, the restaurant actually will make $7 every time we sell one of those deals for them. And it doesn't take long at all for those $7 to add up and pay for the Prybuy subscription many times over. Newspaper, radio, and TV. With the rise of internet marketing, newspaper, radio, and cable TV advertising is suffering, and they are beginning to take another approach. They are selling discounted certificates on behalf of the business and using the proceeds to pay for advertising with them, almost like a trade. For example, Charter Main Street Deals sells $1,200 worth of certificates for a business for $600. That would be like 60, 10 gets you 20 deals. Charter then uses the $600 in proceeds to pay for advertising with them. The problem is that $600 doesn't go far at all on TV, radio, or newspaper, and benefits the merchant very little for having to give away $1,200 worth of product. With Prybuy, even if we use the same terms as Charter, they will receive a full year of ongoing advertising, 24/7, 365.